to be positioned as another ad
I know,
agency.
man, and you
It's
shouldn't.
You have to be very selective with who you work with.
If they see that you work with every single type of person in ads, they're gonna think that you have less of an offer for them.
You shouldn't be afraid at all to charge very high prices.
I'm not a big fan of you saying sometimes they want to start using ads, sometimes they're running ads already. So in that, I would be way more specific. All right, Stefan. So in this breakdown, we're gonna understand exactly what are your main bottlenecks right now when it comes to your personal brand. So we can go step by step through top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel in your content, and also refining your offer even more. So we can make sure that you scale your personal brand as soon as possible, okay? Can you give us a bit of the current situation right now? Because we've been working already for almost a month now together. So far, what we were able to achieve, but in general, what's the current situation also of the business?
No, I appreciate it, man. So we started working about a month ago and literally started posting content like 2 weeks ago. So far, the content that I've been posting, it's been actually doing pretty well in terms of views. You know, we actually got over 100,000 views, which is amazing, you know, in this short period of time. So I guess right now my main struggle is just maybe getting, like building more trust as myself in the content, because a lot of the content that I've been doing has maybe been too faceless videos. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And as of right now, the offer that is connected to, so we can also understand a little bit of the starting point, the offer that you've been selling, can you give us a ballpark of the revenue that you're generating with the offer?
Yeah, so the current offer is the one that I've been pretty much offering through Fiverr.
Got it.
So it is likely going to be a separate offer to the one that I'm going to be doing through my personal brand.
Okay.
But in terms of Fiverr, I've been averaging like 10 to 15K per month.
Okay, beautiful. I think with everything that we're going to talk about today, we have everything to be able to at least push it to 30 in the short term, and then in the next months where we're going to be done at 50. Okay. So what we're going to build today, it's going to be, I want to aim for already the 30K, you know, at 3 or 4 months from now. And I think to 6 months, we can push it even further, right? I mean, you have the expertise, you've been doing for a while, you prove yourself on Fiverr. And also on top of everything, man, it's like the angle that you have for your offer, we're going to talk about it in a second, but it's pretty original, right? It can have a good market. So let's start one by one, going through this section. I just want to understand when it comes to your ICP, so we're crystal clear on who it is that we want to help. Okay, who would you say that you're helping right now, for the most part?
Yeah, for the most part, it's been a very mixed bag. Like, I'd say maybe 30% local businesses, 20% e-commerce, then another maybe 30% coaching businesses, and then there will be like real estate plus and software.
Got it.
That would be everything else.
Okay, got it. So mainly e-com, local business, and coaching are kind of like that 30-30-30 that are equally distributed, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The other would be like SaaS.
Okay, one thing that I want to ask you, so we can already, I'm not a huge fan of this, right? Because it's way better to have just one specific ICP, because that way you can really talk to them. From your experience, out of these, you're the best at helping who? Like, who gets the best results, if you would have to tell me?
The best results, I would definitely say local businesses.
Because we are talking about this.
Yeah, it's like
so
just
easy
the easiest to get them results, you know. But a lot of times they're not the ones who have the most money to invest.
Gotcha.
So those are kind of two different things to consider.
So let's say they get the best results, but at the same time they get less buying power.
Yeah, a lot of the times.
Who would you say in general out of coaching at e-com that were your clients that had more money to invest between the two?
I'd say definitely e-com if it's a huge brand, because I've worked with some pretty big companies, so they don't mind spending. But I mean, I worked with also like big coaching businesses and also agencies. Sometimes I would do advertising material for different agencies. And
between e-com and coaching, what would you say that after local businesses in general get the best results? Is it mostly e-com or coaching?
I would say coaching.
Okay, got it.
Because e-commerce is also one of the most competitive ones that we're talking about.
Results. Like we would have to do a ton of content.
Okay.
And when it comes to, just let me ask you a question. When it comes to local businesses, when you talk about the fact that they don't have budget, is it just because it's smaller local businesses, or is it because another thing I'm thinking is like if you get already crazy results for local businesses with easy implementation, something that you could consider doing also is a smaller retainer, but with a percentage of the revenue that you bring them, if you have the right systems in place to track. Because it's like, if it's so easy to actually bring them a good return, now of course it has to be like a solid business in which then they are able to also convert the people. But I think that's also something that we can take into account when it comes to the local businesses. Again, just because if it's so easy to just implement a couple of things and make them get result, as they actually start getting result, then they also have more budget to reinvest or potentially again have a revenue share with you.
Yeah, that's also an interesting approach. Personally, I've never tried doing revenue share models with clients before, but depending on the offer, I would be open to trying it out.
Got it. We can definitely put in for like the future, potentially test rev share. The reason why I was asking you all these questions, man, is because I want to be able to understand that sweet spot between like buying power, but also results, right? Yeah. Because let's say that, yes, local businesses, they get the best results, but actually they have like a 30% of a buying power as a coach, and the coach is right after there, so they still get amazing results, but the buying power that they have is so much higher, right?
Yeah.
So I really want to find that sweet spot so you can really define who that would be.
Yeah, I mean, even those, I would say those are very general numbers, because there are, again, also like plenty of broke coaches. But there are also like plenty of local businesses who are literally like maybe like franchises in their local area.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I just think one thing that you have to also consider, man, and I think that as one of the next steps we can go into, the more data we have, the more we can make smart decisions, right? But you also need to understand that when it comes, for example, to a franchise, yes, they might have more money, 100%. Also, what would be the sales process with something like that, right? Like, we also want to consider, like, we're info, we're services, like we're a cash flow business. I imagine, of course, we would have to test it, but working with a franchise might be like 3, 4, 5 calls before you're able to close a sale.
Yeah.
So we need to take all these things into account, but as one of the next steps that we're gonna do together, I really want you to start defining exactly, like you probably have been doing this for quite a while. You've been in this exact position. So the best thing is tracking better data and really trying to define the one person that we want to go for, right? So to me personally, I mean, we have the most experience working with coaches, but it's very interesting to me that you're saying that they're second in getting results, and I know they have buying power if you target the right coaches. That would probably be the approach that I would start with. I would probably just have a bit more intent into working with coaches, and then through the content, if we see that we have other super qualified, for example, e-com, we can also test and see what kind of results they have and track the two data. But if I would have to tell you like a applicable spot based on the data that you just gave me, I would probably push for the coaching angle and see what you can do for them. Okay, because also the process, I know like we sell to coaches for the most part, it's a one close call with the right content, and still means that you can charge up to tens of thousands of dollars and have a one close call, which is always super powerful, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think that can definitely work, especially if paired with what we've already discussed in the mastermind and everything, with just nurturing the type of audience.
Okay.
It can definitely work.
Okay. Now, when it comes to also, let's keep to, of course, also consider local business and e-com in general, because when someone takes action, might be in a similar situation, but have on top of mind coaches if you want to start getting more into that angle. What would you say is the current situation of these people before they want to work with you? So, the actual situation that they're in that makes them want to reach out to you in the first place. What would you say that they're missing?
Yeah, so it is a few things. Number one, it's a lack of good ad creatives. So either they've already been running ads before, they've tried running ads, and they haven't worked as well as they hoped they would. Yeah. So they just want to expand on that part, or sometimes they just literally want to get into that. Like they've been utilizing other sources of outreach or like inbound lead generation and haven't tried ads before. So this is like their first time. But also sometimes I would just help around with like funnel videos, like help them set up like a VSL on their landing page. So that's another kind of thing that I also do with clients.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that already, it's like I would definitely pick one and of course, if the vast majority, if like 80% is anyway ads, then I would just be ads.
Yeah.
And it's like the creatives for ads, which of course, like you can also talk about how the creative is the most important part. A lot of them are probably already aware of that, especially if you say that some of them already come from doing advertising. And so it's just like if you specialize on just creating the creatives for ads, that is definitely, and that's also why I was already talking about and mentioning rev share. More than rev share, I mean like a percentage of the return that they get from that stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's like the creatives are the vast majority of the ads anyway. Like that's what makes the ads perform or not. And so at that point, you could have it set up as an advertising agency fundamentally, in which what they do is usually they have a fixed retainer, but then a part of it is also a percentage of the ad spend or a percentage of the ROI that you actually get to these people, okay? So again, it's like why I would not exclude necessarily immediately local businesses. Of course, like we would have to talk, I would have to understand realistically how much budget they have. And because of course it's like margins are different and everything. So that's just normal that coaches usually have more buying power in that sense. But it's just that idea of like, if they can get, like if they really get crazy results and crazy ROIs with you, and you just set it up so that it's like you take a cut out of that revenue that you generate for them, then it becomes way easier to actually sell on them, even if they don't have crazy budgets to invest in the first place, you know?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, what's good about a structure like that, if you're super confident in what you do, it's not like I never want you to be cheap, but you can have a very good offer to start with because you're so confident that you're gonna get them results. That way you really make the most amount of money is for the money you generate for them.
And you're also very selective, of course, because at that point then you have to be very selective with who you work with, because if you also make the vast majority in the rev share, which can be a great selling point. It's like I don't work with most people because I just decide to work with people that I know I can get crazy results with. You know, again, it's like whenever you have a setup in which it's based on the ROI that you bring them or the revenue that you bring them in, it just shows confidence that you can really help them because you get paid in percentage to how much you help them.
Yeah, no, that would be very good, I'd say, but only if the business is already making solid money.
Yeah, no,
have
100%.
a proven product.
And
100%.
And the thing that I wanted to ask you next, brother, is like, I agree with Alessio when it comes to like the VSL already, man. If you're good at it, just do it as a order bump, like an upsell during the program. So it's like you're running ads for them, and then it's like, all right, but where are we running these ads to? Like, what's the actual page? And then as a consultant, you can go through it and it's like, guys, I want to be completely honest with you because I want you to make money. Yes, I'm gonna give you qualified people going to that page, but this VSL can get, can improve so much,
just
right?
improve like conversion.
So at least I would focus first on the ads, and then you make them realize that they have a problem at the end of the funnel,
in terms of the
though.
conversion rate,
and then it's like, look, I can give you a one fee of this, and I'll take care of the VSL for you, right? So that way you can increase the LTV of your clients, but it's not really like you're not already talking about VSL and ads during the sales process. Because during the sales process, man, if I hire you, I need to see you as the guy that will take care of my ads. And that's you, right? And then you actually analyze my VSL and it's like, man, we need some work on that. You already helped me with ads and I believe you because you helped me there. It's gonna be an easy sale.
Yeah, I mean, it happens very often that people think that they have the ads problem, but in reality, they have the conversion problem on their landing page. Like their ads would sometimes just work like decently, like okay, but they would lose a ton of people on the landing page.
Okay, that's interesting. I think with time, if you see that but that would be like, have to be the majority of the cases. If you see that is the case, you can transform it into like your unique two-step process. Right, you can play with that, but only if not a lot of people experience that, which can be like, a lot of people just think that ads is their only problem, when in reality, many times is more often than not, like the VSL or so you can, it's like, when you work with me, I don't only focus on the ads, I make sure that the ads are performing, but where you bring them is the most optimized page possible. And you kind of sell them as a two-step process. In that case, I like it, but you need to paint in this way that this is what they're gonna get.
Right? Because the thing is still like they need to have you in mind as this guy that does something specifically. It's like even us right now, what are we doing? We're helping you out with your offer. That's not our main pitch. That's not what we're focused on. Our goal is we will help you build your personal brand. We will help you build out your short form content, which again, as you were saying, like part of it also comes down to also for our client, we need to know that they already have solid processes in place. They already have a solid business, exactly like you're saying, because otherwise, you know, it wouldn't really help. Like you get more traffic, but for what? For broken system, for a business that's not really set up.
Yeah, if the product sucks.
Exactly. And so that's incredibly true. There's the other part is a consultant that you can just add on top once they're actually already inside of the program, especially if what they're looking for, at least like you have to sell them on what they think they want. So it's like if they know they want ads, you sell them on that, and then you can also do that part, which again, especially, you know, if you have a model with rev share, it can be just you improve that and you already have in mind that that will make you so much money, or you upsell it, as Brian was saying, as a one-time thing that you add on top to the people that need it.
Yeah. And to you, like working on this VSL and this conversion page is such a quick win that you can give to your clients to get them hyped, because like you're the expert here, but I'm thinking that to get really to that successful creative, you need some time, right? You need testing and stuff like that. But immediately if you're able to better their conversion rate, like the VSL, even with their shitty ads that they're running, immediately they would make some money, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that is the one switch that you can, you know, turn on immediately to get them more money. And, you know, whenever someone starts working with you, if you can make them more money the first month, even the first week of working together, people are addicted to progress.
They are
right?
sold again on you. And they believe even more in the process that you're providing.
Yeah.
So that's really, really powerful. Like in general, whenever you sell any kind of coaching or service, the best way to set it up is to make sure that you have that quick win as early as possible, so that they immediately see the results. You know, for us, for example, oftentimes is the story sequences. If somebody already has a little bit of a presence online, or the appointment setting strategy, you know, those more tactical things of sales, which is like, I implement that and I know that like you're going to get good results from the get-go, that then motivates you to keep on going with everything else, you know?
Yeah, of course. And it also builds trust. From my experience, what I've also seen is sometimes before even starting working on the ads or the VSLs, I would just jump on a call with the client, literally spend like 1 hour breaking down their current funnel, just giving them feedback like, like this headline sucks, like, you know, you could optimize your landing page so much. There's just 100%. These little tweaks that you can do. And literally like right after they implemented stuff, like, you know, like conversion rates are just
beautiful, man.
So much higher.
And you should also film that 100%. Yes. We're going to talk about that in a second, but that's 100% like a piece of content that you should film, because that's incredibly powerful, especially if you film that and then, you know, after a week they get the result and you get to also film, for example, a quick testimonial, or a week or a month later in which you already finished implementing everything that you were talking about in that video, and people can also see the result right after that comes from that.
I mean, from everything that you're telling me, man, I would definitely present it almost as a two-step system or part of this ecosystem. Because also it can make your peers very unique, right? Because to be honest, that makes so much sense. I've heard a lot of ads agencies. I've heard a lot about ads agencies, but never have I heard like this two-step system where it's both the ads, but also if your conversion sucks in the landing page, what are we doing?
The main thing that comes to my mind is really having it in mind as that 3 phases that we also have in our program. In some sense, we usually present it as 3 phases. And the 3 phases are, number 1, I go through all of your funnel, we analyze everything and we understand exactly what we need to fix. Number 2, we implement optimized VSL, and number 3, we actually plug in all of the ads so that the system that we already built is going to convert even better, and we're going to improve the creative so that we actually get enough people to go through the system that we already optimized.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no, I could definitely see myself helping them optimize their whole funnel, you know, from the ad creatives to like the landing page and the VSL.
Because again, it's like, as you're saying, like otherwise they might think it's your fault that you're not bringing the right kind of leads, the right kind of people. And so you end up probably doing this anyway, because you're like, even if I create perfect ads for them that bring tons of people, if the funnel is broken, then they're probably going to feel like these ads are not really performing that well. Well, I know that it's just a matter of fixing that. So might as well just sell the whole thing as a package. The perceived value goes up. You can charge way more because again, it's not just the ads, but it's this whole process. You can create a lot of content again from it because you can record all of this, and it's really, really powerful.
What's really important, Stefan, is that you sell it as a system though, because you don't want to become a jack of all trades where it's like, in general I help with VSL, ads, funnel, like everything.
No.
Like people almost feel like, I don't need, like people think they know what they need, but they don't, right?
That happens all the time.
Right, but you need to showcase. So my main goal is at the end of the program, having ads that are crushing it for you, okay? But this cannot happen if we do not implement these 2 steps first, which is I have a deep understanding of your funnel, A to Z, and then I make sure that the conversion page where we're running the ads is fully optimized. And then I will start running the ads, so everything is systemized and you're not missing out on any money.
And you're still the ad guy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're still the ad guy.
You just have that part of the process so dialed in before that people will be like, oh, nobody have ever told me about this before, right? So it's like you still need to sell it as a process, not of like, I take care of this, and this, because if not, people would get almost scared of it.
They would think you're not that much of an expert. You're just like trying to do everything all together, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it's all close together in like the same niche because it's like all under the same funnel. But the way I've always tried to position myself is that, you know, there's like a ton of these like ad agencies, you know, the market is super saturated, but all they focus on is kind of like, media buying, like, you know, running some like shitty ads and stuff. So my positioning, the way I at least thought about it, was to just like focus on creative, being really, really good.
Yeah.
So that's why I've always looked at my agency as a creative agency rather than an advertising agency. I mean, like I myself was never like too fond of like media buying and stuff.
Right.
Although I'm actually like pretty decent at doing that.
And that has to do with the communication. I mean, when you say part 3 improve ads, I wouldn't say that at a point. Improve like creatives, right? You can still be the creative guy, but it's like if you're doing this already, if you put it inside of a system, you're gonna sell way more rather than like having to do this. They don't even know the work that's behind it, and you still have to do it to make them money, right? So might as well be, I'm a creative expert, right? Like we literally say, we're content experts, but we start from your ICP and understanding your offer, because if we don't, what are we creating content for, right? And it's the same thing for you. I'm a creative expert. My job is to improve them to the max. But if I don't have a deep understanding of your funnel and I don't make sure that the page is optimized as possible, then we're not going to make money together, right? And they're going to understand it so well, like they're business owners. But your goal is this, but you sell them on this too, because that's going to position you as much more of an expert. And they're going to be like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. I can see how this can work out, right? Beautiful. Another thing that I wanted to tell you, and then we'll go through the end of the offer, but I'm not a big fan of you saying sometimes they want to start using ads, sometimes they're running ads already. Also in that, I would be way more specific in the sense of if someone is already creating content, we can get them so much more results, because it's not like they have to press record on a camera for the first time and we have data to analyze. I imagine, and tell me if I'm wrong, but if you have ads to analyze that they run in the past and you can like have actual data to go through, I think your life is easier, right?
It's much easier.
Okay. So genuinely also to be exclusive and position yourself as an expert, I would have this kind of thing of, if you never run ads, this is not for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like that would be the best case scenario where their product is already working, they're getting sales, they're getting good conversion rates on their website.
Yeah.
They're also running ads. Ads have been working for them in the past, but they want to improve on those.
Right. Exactly.
With better creatives.
Exactly. And I'm sure you started to see this already, but it's not like you're trying to convince someone that is starting from zero, start running ads. Like you don't want to talk to that person. It's like, it's not like it's better to say no to that person, because by having an offer that is precise, the person that is already making money with their offer, which is your ICP, they're going to be like, you're the guy for me, right? But if they see that you work with every single type of person in ads, they're going to think that you have less of an offer for them, right? And you're going to make them more money and you're going to make more money because of it, right?
Yeah.
So just as we define coaching, for example, to start with, I would also make sure that you guys are already successfully selling this coaching program, you're getting good results for your clients, and as a consequence, it can really help you scale this, right? Be very clear with that. Beautiful. So we already put here the whole 3-step system, but I'm curious as of right now, when it comes to how you were selling it before, what was the structure of the program in general? So let's start from the core promise, right? What would you say is the core promise of your offer as of right now?
As of right now, the core promise would be literally just like, I will make you a high converting ad.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Like, I'll make you a good ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, you can pull up my Fiverr. Like, I don't mind.
Okay. Sweet.
If you want.
I mean, you sold quite a lot on Fiverr in the past. I'm sure you tested different ways of presenting your offer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You choose this. I will make you a good ad because it's the one that performed the best on Fiverr.
Yeah, I mean, it's not literally like that one. It's more like I will make you Facebook and Instagram ads that actually sell. Something along those lines. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
already more specific, you know. Right now it sounded very fluffy, to be
Yeah.
completely honest. Like this, it's already way more specific.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to my Fiverr, you would see like I will make you Facebook and Instagram
I think we can
ads
pull
that
that
Yeah,
up,
actually
let's
sell.
do it.
And then if you like scroll down, you will be able to see my gigs and stuff.
Okay.
And like the packages that I offer, so you can click on view all 7. But the main one would be this one for like editing.
Okay.
That's where like most people actually contact me, and under that 1 gig actually people also want full productions and stuff.
Okay, got it. Gotcha. And as of right now, what do they get for this pricing?
I think.
Yes, so you can open up the gig and it will list out all the packages.
Okay.
you
So
can
this
just,
one is
click
the
on
one
it.
that sells the most.
That's the one that's like selling the most. Yeah, yeah. It's in USD, so on your end it looks a little weird, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. The first one is $200. Second one is it's $300, and the last one is like 2 + 1 free. It's
Okay.
$600.
Got it.
It's like package. Yeah, it's like packages.
And you're editing these.
Yeah, like I've got a team of video editors who
Mhm.
take care of the job. And again, like if you click on continue, usually there's like some upsells.
Single, and then they got
Yeah,
mods
and
and
then
stuff
if
like
you there's like extra fast delivery.
that. Okay, got it.
And stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're basically also saying what you were telling us about the creative, because as of right now, your best performing offer on Fiverr is very like creative oriented. It's like I will actually edit and package your creative in a
Yeah.
way that can sell.
Yeah, I mean that's the one that I've been running the longest since I've
Yeah.
started. You know, especially in the last year, I've expanded to many more gigs, but those are like either not at that level or just not took off yet. So
Got it.
right now, yeah, it's pretty much still like mainly just video editing, which is like the one that I still like. I'm probably like best in the game at. I mean, we're probably best in the game at because I started as a video editor,
Okay.
and that's pretty much how my Fiverr
Okay.
journey started.
And I like them, man. But like to me, it's like it's part of the creative, right? It's like you're super good at ads.
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean,
also
like,
makes you
that's
super
the
good at.
thing. I would say my current offer can really only successfully work on Fiverr and
Right.
nowhere else, just because it's like so basic.
Yeah.
But it works on Fiverr so well because that's exactly what people are looking for. And when you literally go to Fiverr and look up like Facebook ads or
Yeah.
video like ad editing, I will be like the first result.
Okay,
there.
got it. Let me ask you something, man. If we start running this 3-step system, right? To me, I'm always going to be a big fan of coaching over having an agency because the profit margins are just so much better. I'm curious, like the type of clients that you have, especially if we target the ones that are already running ads, would they have usually an internal team that would able to execute on your direction?
Usually, yes. Usually they already have at least like one media buyer, plus
Got it.
maybe other guys. Yeah.
Got it.
But also video editor or just media buyer?
I mean, if they're making content or in the coaches,
Yeah, typically they don't, like usually I take care of the content, so
Yeah.
they don't typically have video editors.
Okay. because what I like about our offer, man, is like, and you can sell it potentially as an add-on, like connecting
Yeah.
with one of your editors. But it's like we sell ourselves as we build a strategy and we give you feedback along the way to make sure we execute in the right way.
Yeah.
You need an editor, beautiful. We have a marketplace. You need this other person, beautiful. We have a marketplace, right? We can connect them to you, and we don't charge because they're not really our editors. It's just a marketplace. But you could have like a fee, to
Include also the video editing as
to include in the
part of
editing.
it.
But like I would be such a big fan
So
of
you're
like
saying like pretty much keep the coaching at the center of it and then add service on
Yes.
top of it.
exactly.
Yes,
So
exactly.
basically you have the coaching and your job is like we will go through this 3-step system in 3 months to make sure you have the blueprint to run profitable ads forever. Because also think about it, man, ads are such like a thing that at a certain point you have to change. It's gonna stop. So a business owner would see such a great impact in you training their internal team in creating these ads forever.
As you were saying, also the media buyer potentially. So like if they have already a media buyer, training the media buyer on how to actually optimize them and what a good creative actually looks like, how to communicate with the editor, because that's another thing. Like you're somebody that understands the media buyer and understands the editor because you've been both. And so that's also really powerful because that way you can literally just like put them in contact. And again, it's like you communicate with both and it can be like, media buyer, like this is what you should expect from an editor, this is how an editor operates, this is what you should ask if you want good creatives, and also this is what a good creative looks like. And then the same way, the other way around, like to an editor also, you know, you can instruct them, of course, like this is what a good creative looks like, this is what the media buyer will need. And so that way you can really position it in that sense of like, again, if they already have a good editor, cool, you can just sell the packaging of improving on all of that and training already the editor and the media buyer again inside of their team, for example. If they don't have an editor, you can have that upsell of placing an editor inside of their team.
Because like, man, I want to use the industry where you are and the negative things about it as something that you can turn into a positive. And what I mean by that is like, probably if they want to hire you as an ads agency, they probably hired other ads agency in the past, right? I'm sure that's something that happens a lot of time.
I really also like thought about.
Yeah.
I really like don't want to be positioned as another ad agency.
I know, man, and you shouldn't.
Like there's almost like this stigma around ad agencies that nowadays they're all like scammers.
Yeah.
You know?
And you shouldn't, man. And it's like you should almost play into that pain, or in general that past experience that they had is like, let me just ask you something. Would you be the first guy that you hire for your ads? They would probably say no, right? It's like, what went wrong with them? And they're gonna list a series of things. And it's like, well, that's exactly why I'm not a classic ads agency. My job is to coach your internal team, and if you don't have one, I will be able to place talent exactly what you need.
Potentially even the media buyer.
Exactly.
Of course, if it's already someone that's running ads, even better, so they already have a media buyer and it's easier in that process.
And
but
coach them on the systems, so they have it forever, and you never have to look for another ad guy because you actually have it internally inside of your team. A team that understands how to run ads that are profitable.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I would really love, instead of positioning myself as an agency, to just position myself as the expert in the industry. So just like Stefan, you know, like this guy who has that, like, you know, this really good understanding of like ad creatives and just helping his clients improve funnels.
Because like everybody can hire an ads agency, but your advantage would be I have such an understanding of ads and creatives that I can build an in-house team for you. Like the ones that you already have, I can train them. You need someone else, I can place talent for you, right? And you solve a problem forever, right? That's also why people come to us and they don't go to a content agency, because it's like, sure, a content agency can get them some leads. The moment they stop paying them, they don't know what to do with content. Like they're lost again and they have to look for another ads guy. Right, so if you really sell them on this thing, and you really need to feel the founder, like you wouldn't have to do a lot on this, because you know founders are really precious with their time. But it's like that's why you place talent where it's needed, right? But giving them this mindset shift of like, oh, having someone in house that knows how to actually run creatives, right? And you can almost challenge them. Like I'm pretty sure that the most successful businesses on earth tend to have creative agencies inside of their team and not really relying on external ones because they want to have full control over their offer, right? And I think this could be a great way of packaging your service as different from all the other ads agencies that they can find, right? Great.
Can be ad accelerator or something like that, you know. Now I was also looking at the duration already, so I think that 3 months that you were talking about, I think would be like a great balance to implement those 3 systems, and it could literally be like, let's say, the 3-month ad accelerator. You know, something like that.
And I mean, this gives you so much flexibility on the pricing, because it's like, okay, you coach for 3 months. If they need new talent, they can always come to you back, and you can have a fee, so the lifetime value goes up because you have the talent. But to place them, you have, of course, a fee because it's your network. And look, if someone wants more access to you and split other stuff, you can always make longer the coaching process and you know, coaching them on something new. But you can have this signature like program, this like flagship, which is like 3 months is to really start building profitable ads.
Do you think overall from your experience 3 months will be enough? considering what we want to go through. So analyzing the funnel, optimizing the conversion page, and improving the creatives.
No, definitely. I mean, honestly, like I've seen results in like a week or 2 weeks.
Okay, amazing.
Like, that's beautiful.
Once we start changing some stuff, that's like very obvious. Like, you know, we obviously change the obvious stuff first. So once we change that,
100%. What would you say is the range usually in which they get most results? Like a range, like from the best case to the worst case.
What do you mean, like
how long would it take for them to see those like significant improvements in terms of like right now you told me I've seen sometimes results in 1 week. Cool. Let's say the worst situation that you've been in, still like people that already were running some kind of ads and you just had to optimize. How long, like for example, maybe you had to test more creatives, it took you a little bit more time to find the right angle and everything. In that situation, how long would it take?
Yeah, so again, best case would be like, you know, like literally 1 day or 2 days if there's like a major thing that can be corrected right now on the landing page.
Yeah.
But worst case, I would say would definitely be a few months, like 3 to 4 months.
Beautiful.
If it's like already a huge e-commerce brand, they're doing really big numbers. So they're also producing a ton of creatives. So, you know, to really nail down a new winning ad, it's going to take a lot of content. And a lot of issues just has been that they've been requesting a lot less content than what's actually needed. Like it's completely normal that results were taking slow.
But that's then again, like that's where it comes in the fact of you are the expert, you can guide them on that, and you can be like exactly like we are in our program. We're like, listen, if you don't post every day, especially when you're just starting out with your personal brand, don't expect results. Like it's not going to happen. And so the same thing, you can position it like that. And so it's also like you're not the video editor that they order specific videos from. You're like the consultant that's like, listen, you need to run, I don't know, at least 15 different creatives to be able to see some results. Cool, now they have the expectation. It's like, if I don't run 50 creatives, I can't expect the results, you know? So I think that's cool. I think that at this point, like the 3 months, I feel like it's a good balance, because at the end of the day, it's also like, even if the vast majority of them get results faster than the 3 months, it's once again always the thing that we say of under promise, over deliver. Because again, it's like, if you make it very clear, it's going to take approximately 3 months to get results, and they get results in the first 2 weeks, they will be like, like, Stefan is the best guy in the world. He told me like it was going to take 3 months, and it took him like just 2 weeks to fix this thing.
That is really what does also happen is that sometimes, especially like lower ticket plans, like people who usually aren't very qualified would reach out to me first, would ask about my services. They would realize that it would be too expensive for me to do everything for them. So instead they opt for coaching. They will jump on like 1 or 2 calls with me, and usually like they see really, really good results.
Amazing.
Just like literally just by having like a 1 hour call with them and just like helping them with both, like what they should do with their ads, what they should do with their landing page, just giving them feedback.
That's great. That's great. And something that I want to tell you about the pricing that I will talk about, from my experience jumping on sales call, because we have this place in talent, a business owner takes action. If you want to take them action on the call, they need to be crystal clear on what would be the cost for them to execute the strategy, okay? So you will have your fee, your coaching fee, but also during the call, I want you to actually use it a consultative call like we were talking about it today. And you actually need to treat it like you understand exactly what team they already have in place and what they would need, so you can actually give them a whole overview of the, in general, the ballpark of how much they would have to spend to make this possible, okay? Because I'm telling you, if you just like say, this is my pricing, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, okay, but I also need the media buyer, and they're like, how much would it cost me? And there's no way they're gonna tell you yes on a call if that's what they're thinking. So I want you to use the sales call as literally breaking down their business and telling them already who they should hire and giving them a precise, let's say, ballpark of the pricing. Okay, that's super, super important, because if not, they're gonna take action. They're not. But when it comes to the pricing, man, I know you never probably charge this much, but for this kind of program and you know, the value that you're able to provide to them, I would be super confident at least asking for 9K for 3 months.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Like the most I've charged in the past with a client has been like $50 to $100 per month.
Okay.
Or like
okay, that's good.
For just like ad creatives, we did like a ton of. I think we did like 12 ads per week.
Got it. And the thing is, man, like we always have time to go up, right? But to me, it would be like a good pricing also for the ICP that we want to reach. I think 9K would be a perfect start. And as soon as you see, you know, the more we improve the content, the personal brand, the more people really want to work with you. And it's like you have a 9K, you have like a 60, 70% close rate. Beautiful. Let's bring it to 11. Beautiful. Let's bring it to 13. That's exactly what we did. We started by selling our coaching like what? 1K and a half, 2K. Now we're selling for 15. Right? Because people want it, people buy it, you raise the price.
And it's also the whole thing of that we were also talking about, that you speak to different people. And so it's like right now, even just by the fact that we want to target somebody else, like somebody different from those like lower ticket or like people that don't really have that much money, just charging 9K helps in that, because it just like position you as the person that just works with people that have money because of the price. You know?
So one thing that would be very, very powerful instead, to introduce in the future if we want to test it, we would have to track exactly the performance that you can in 3 months. But what Alessio was saying before, it would be like 6K for the coaching, but after they hit a certain, you know, amount, a return investment with you, you get another, for example, 6K added. And why that's super powerful is you're getting like 12K instead of 9, but in their mind it's such a safer route. Because it's like, okay, it's 6K. Worst case scenario, this guy coaches my whole team, I just pay 6K for it. And then once you make the money, because you will get another 6K on top of that. So you're charging more, but you're making it feel in a way for them that is like so safe and so confident. You're gonna appear so confident. Because imagine you're like, 6K when you start, when we hit, and you define this during the sales call based on the numbers that they're hitting, when we hit this based on the analysis that I did for you, it will be another 6K. And they will be happy, bro, to give you that 6K. Right? Because you were super confident, you actually did what you said you were gonna do, right? So this is a great pricing structure that we can test in the past, but before doing it, I would collect as much data as on the ROAS that you're able to generate for them.
Yeah, 100%. And another reason also why, like, I think you shouldn't be afraid at all to charge very high prices is you have crazy track record already. So you have tons of client testimonials, tons of client results. Like you also work with some big brands, if I remember right, no? So it's like, I think 100%, like even just by the testimonials and the fact that you're not starting from scratch. It's not like we have to start getting the first client testimonials, start getting the first people to work with you.
Yeah,
of course.
And when it comes to this, man, we're gonna send you a form to be able to go through this, but as we start getting more and more leads with the content and everything, we need you to track all this stuff. Like it's so important, man. Leads, conversation open, the replies, the book calls, the show up, the close. This literally is our roadmap to understand what to focus on. Because many times, it's like we were talking about it with Mikalis yesterday. It was like maybe sometimes people think they need more leads, and we see that from the leads to the actual replies that they get, there's such a big gap of people, and all we have to do is better the opener. For example, in the DM that we were talking about, and immediately they're making double the money, right? So it's not always a leads problem, it's not always a sales problem. We need to define it together, understand what to work on. So we will share a form that we're able to track on a daily and a weekly basis, but this is super, super important, okay?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, beautiful. Do you want to add something about the offer? Should we go with the content?
No, I think the offer is pretty clear, 100% when it comes to the data. And I also think like we've already seen that the content is already doing good, you know, even if we just started, and we're going to also go into the content right now, but I don't think that you will have a lead problem. I think it will just more like it will be more of those other metrics and understanding when it comes to the opening up conversations, spotting the right people as well, like understanding who your actual ICP will be with this different offer, because that's something that of course we are tweaking. So that will be like really a first really important point that we'll have to see when it comes to the metrics. And then of course when it comes to the sales, I don't know, like, but again, we will need to track that. I don't know like how much experience you already have, but since you already do it through Fiverr, I'm pretty sure like also when it comes to the sales side, it shouldn't be an issue because you already have some experience in selling to people and also selling to business owners. So I think like the biggest thing, but of course it's just an hypothesis, that's why you need to track that data, will be into the actual conversations, how many conversations you're able to open and how many will actually reply, and being able to identify who this target avatar will be and how do they look like on Instagram.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think positioning is definitely going to be like the biggest thing, how I position, because I feel like still, even if I position myself as the expert, if I just say like I help you with ads, I help you with the funnel, I help you with coaching. I still feel like there's too many guys who do like the exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you should be the creative guy.
Yeah.
Man, I think you should 100% double down on that. Like, you're the creative guy. That's such a smart angle. It's just in the sales call, you need to make them creative guy is something that piques curiosity, but when someone wants to make a decision, they want to see the whole roadmap in a sales call. Yeah. That's why you're gonna add these two things before that we talked about, and everything is gonna start making sense for a business owner.
And I think number one is going to be like creative, and then everything else is going to just build up on top of that to ensure they get results.
The other thing is you make them really go through this mindset shift during the call, which again positions you even more as an expert, because it's like you can literally on the sales calls analyze their situation, understand exactly what they're doing when it comes to the ads, and be like look at the funnel already a little bit, like even before the call, you make them link the page that they're currently running traffic to, and so that when you get into the call, you of course like run them through what you will do when it comes to the creatives and the ads, but you can also outline how, now this is just one part of the program, because the problem is that we can have perfect ads and perfect creatives, but if we're sending all of the traffic to a broken page, then it's not really going to convert. And oftentimes people don't think about this, and that's why I always bring it up, because it's really important that we also optimize, for example, these 3 points that I saw in your page that we can definitely optimize.
Okay, let's get a little bit to the content, so you know exactly what to do also to start getting people to buy this offer, okay? So the first thing is just like little quick wins that we can put in. When it comes to the name, we can definitely work on it. We're gonna brainstorm it together later, but Stefan, okay, first name, last name, that's good, but it's like, what exactly do you do?
I mean, like, that was the only thing. I thought that was necessary to get verified with like Meta. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure that
you can actually change it. You have to be like this when you create it, but then you change it, and 99% of the time they're gonna still approve it.
Oh, okay.
Because you need to maintain your first name and last name, but we're gonna add creative ad specialists.
We actually just did it, literally, with Create Content Club. If you go, before there wasn't Alicia and Brian, we actually just added it and we tweaked it up.
So it's not gonna be a problem. Photo, we can do better.
Actually, went on a photo shoot recently.
Beautiful.
Just for profile pictures. If you want, I can show you some.
Great.
That I took. Or if you want, I can just send.
Just send it to us later, and we're gonna tell you if that's good to go. When it comes to this, man, it's like wins clients, great. You're not.
I will get ready.
You're not a travel blogger, right? But wins clients, that's beautiful. One thing that I want you to start. You remember the whole 6-to-1 strategy we talked about in the stories, the giving. I would have one that is more like
value on the ads and creatives,
mindset, just in general, something that is more like where you give, right? And you build a collection of those stories. Exactly, man.
Lead magnets, but also even just like having sequences in which you go, we talked about the mindset shift sequences, in which, like exactly as we were saying also right now, it's like people sometimes have something in mind that they think they need when it comes to the ads. Like for example, what are the right meta ads settings, you know, that's like the classic thing, like what should be my targeting and everything, and you can make them go through the mindset shift of like, when you have the right creatives, it's the creative, for example, that already attracts the right target avatar, and so you don't even need, like all of my clients just set generic targeting of like 18 to 45 years old in all US, and just because the creative is right and it's spot on, it attracts the right people and it converts like crazy.
You need to play in this mindset shift, man, and you need to list down exactly what I was telling you before in the presentation. What are the things that your ICP would think before investing with you? So it might be people focus 80% on their effort on how they set their ads, when in reality that's 20% of the results, and the 80% is the creative. Or it could be you're looking for another ads agency, when in reality what you're missing is understanding your business and how to run ads profitably, right? And you can go through this mindset shift with them, which is like, man, that's what I'm missing, right? And every single time you create a story sequence like that, you're selling yourself without selling yourself, right? That's what's beautiful about it. But yeah, so we would add a section with that, that with time they're gonna compound and you're gonna add it to the collection. Here, I'm not asking you to have like a logo or anything, but at least like pick a photo, like a nice status photos when it's like a nice picture of you, right? So it could be in different, like, you know, nice environments, whatever it might be.
Yeah, like something that's not just like a list of super small text.
Maybe just like an icon with like stars or something.
You can do like that, or it can be a bit more of like a lifestyle picture where it's just you with a nice background behind, but your face is visible. It's either like a clear icon or where your face is visible. Okay.
I think it would be kind of funny if there was just a bunch of my faces there in all of the circles.
With like different colors.
Maybe I would avoid.
Yeah. So we already talked about this. And then here for your main, it's like it's not really connecting in any way to what you do.
Yeah.
If we could add like, you know, creatives after this, or at least like ads, just anything that makes it a bit more
Stefan creatives,
you know,
for example, if you work on the creatives.
Honestly, like I was looking at a bunch of usernames.
Yeah.
And I think honestly this one is like a really good catch, just because it's quite short. But yeah, I agree that.
Okay.
It's just a bit confusing to me
Yeah.
because I don't necessarily associate it to anything.
Yeah,
like
just like
sometimes,
my name.
even if I have to search you up, like
yeah, we never remember your username.
Yeah.
Right?
yes,
And that's a big, like the clients that we have that have a good username, I always remember them. Like an example is like, there's Mel, she's called Build with Mel. Like it's, I always remember Build with Mel. It's like so catchy. Like fans, and also like
yeah.
imagine like an American trying to say this, man.
Yeah,
Founds,
yeah.
like they don't know how to say it.
I mean,
Like,
I think it's more of the thing because I'm from Serbia, and some people literally just call me that. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the thing where you kind of reverse it name.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I thought that would be a good username because it's literally like my nickname
Yeah.
and it's pretty short. So.
I get them, man. But at least, like if it's not like ads creative, I would literally prefer your first name and last name at this point. But if you want to maintain something like this, at least add a keyword that kind of puts you in that
makes
niche
sense,
and in that bucket. You know what I
Makes
mean?
sense. No, I would do either that or just go like first name, last name.
Okay, beautiful. When it comes to this, we already talked about it. Bio, I know we had this angle at first.
Yeah.
I think we're not really doubling down also on the content, so I would more go towards like
the
creative.
creatives, yeah, what we
you know,
talked
the
about. Creative expert, exactly.
Yeah.
Add creative expert, literally.
Yeah,
It could
yeah.
be like that.
And then 100 million views, beautiful, but I would do 100 million views and $11 million generated for my
Yeah,
clients.
100% also on the money
Like,
in that
bro,
sense, of course.
When people are hiring someone for ads, they're not thinking about
Yeah,
how
they're
many
not
views they're
thinking
gonna
about
get,
views,
right? So it's cool because it's like you position yourself as a creative expert because so much of a strong impact, 100 million views, but we need to add the 11 millions generated, right? Okay, great. This one, looking back at it now, after everything that we learned and we're planning, I would actually unpin it because it's not related to what you would focus on right now. I mean, it's content, yeah, but every single person now knows about ManyChat.
Yeah, I mean, like it's literally really just serving as a social proof that I got a video with.
I get that, man, but then it's like when you pin something to me, that's proof of what you do, and it's representation of what can I learn from you.
So
and then I see this, and then the other things have nothing to do with that, right?
Yep.
So this is why I would change it.
Yeah, so maybe it would literally be better to just record a separate video that's kind of introduction of me and what we do.
Yeah, exactly, man. We can build a script. We can help you with that, which is more of like your stories / your offer and how we help people.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that, what I would do actually is I would first try to start pushing the offer so you get crystal clear before you actually make a video in which you talk about the offer and what you do, just because it's like you also don't want to, for example, put a lot of effort into this video that's going to go pinned and then it's like 1 month from now, maybe we have to just tweak it a little bit, because it's like we just realized something. Maybe it's even like just the positioning is slightly different. Like it's not the coaches, it's the e-com brands actually, And so if the video wants to be very specific and very targeted in that sense, it's just better if we just first define really clearly the offer, which of course, like the vast majority of it we already did in terms of work, but we want to be like really crystal clear on that.
Okay, great. Now, when it comes to top of funnel, to start putting some things here in the document, we already talked about it. Okay, so what we want to do is our number one priority right now when it comes to top of funnel is introducing more of your face, right? Because we're starting to slowly going towards kind of like an AI generation page, and we don't want that at all. Okay, now so number one priority, showing more your face, right? And you're an ads expert, you're a creative expert. One format that I would start with that I told you before is the analysis of good creatives, right? That can be extremely viral. I've seen it go extremely viral before on social media, so we want to start from things that have proof, right? That have been proven to work. So analysis of successful creative, because that way you can leverage famous brands and famous campaigns and position yourself as someone that can analyze why this worked, okay? So it's like first step, because then we can introduce like how I would do it from scratch with AI and all this stuff, okay? But if first you can show and leverage the authority of these brands and position yourself as someone that really understands them, that's gonna be step one for people to discover you. And then on top of that later, we're gonna add that layer of I can also create this from scratch. And we can also have that step too, which is like, this is how I would create creatives for the new McDonald's campaign completely with AI, right? So I'm a big fan of like starting with the analysis, that's step one. And step two, we can do how I would create creatives. Some super bad like this, but you get the point. How I would build, okay? Creatives for the new famous brand campaign, okay? So this first layer is like you're just analyzing. People are like, okay, Stefan knows his shit, he's smart when it comes to this. And it's like, oh, he can actually create them just like that and super talented, beautiful, okay? And you're showing your work already, which is great. But in a way that is still top of funnel because this video can go viral if done correctly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. I guess what I could also try is just literally like recording, just having fun recording ads, like myself instead. Just trying to make like a viral ad for like McDonald's or some other company, but me staring, like in the ad.
Okay, what do you mean
Maybe,
what do you mean by me staring in the ad?
So it's like me in the ad. Or
like him being the character in the ad.
Oh, like
the actor.
Maybe, or maybe just me like executing, I don't know.
I think it's a very creative idea. We would have to see how to package it. The only way is like, the only thing is AI right now is going so viral. So we should leverage it.
Of course, yeah.
But hey man, it's like that 20% that we were talking about. Like let's be creative with that 20% that Alessia was saying, and I like that idea. But I would leverage AI mostly because it already has attention around it.
Yeah, now there's also the whole thing of creatives. Still can't
build creatives
with AI, in which it's like you have your product doing certain things or like being used by a model or whatnot. So like all of that stuff definitely we can play into. I know it's a big trend as well right now, so 100%.
But what would set you apart, man, the more you work with clients, you can already test all the social proof you built during these years. If you can connect like these viral moments, like how you build this crazy stuff with AI, but you actually show that these are getting money to the business that you're helping, it's game over. Because now everybody can play with Nano Banana and all these Klinge, like all these AI, everybody can play with these, but can they generate money with it? Right, that's where you have to place yourself. So if we combine this like top of funnel that is very like viral oriented and bringing a lot of people, and then we bring them to a middle of funnel, which is full YouTube breakdowns, where you actually showcase the creative process, but also in how much money is resulting.
I want to show you also a guy on YouTube that's crushing it when it comes to advertising. He's a little bit more towards e-commerce brands, but he's really good. He's really, really good, and he does like super raw, uncut videos because at the end of the day, especially B2B, like they just want to see how do you actually run this strategy and stuff. So it's like 30-minute videos in which he actually breaks down. Let me see if I can find him right now. Real quick. I've seen some of his videos. He's actually pretty big on Instagram as well. Let me see if I can find him even here.
But you understand that whole point of like everybody right now is doing those viral AI videos, what I would like the IKEA fucking thing. IKEA everybody does that shit, but it's like imagine it's like okay, I do this, but then I make money for my clients. It's like, okay, now I want to work with you.
So, I mean, he does some stuff that's a little bit more like productivity, but some of this stuff as well, like that's really like literally breaking down the campaigns and things of that sort. And on Instagram, he's okay-ish, I would say. On YouTube, I think he's crushing it because he's getting like tons of views and on stuff that's super B2B. So, let me see if I can find him as well here. Like it has 100,000 subscribers. All of his videos are shit like this, in which like he breaks down advertising strategies for e-commerce brands and things of that sort. So I would definitely study him. Like he has 50,000 views on literally like 20-minute videos in which he breaks down like these advertising strategies that he uses for e-commerce brands and stuff. So again, it's like maybe we don't necessarily want to focus 100% on like e-commerce brands, but I think just like studying the format, since he's targeting the same kind of people, like very similar people to who you want to target, which is B2B people that want to run ads, I think it's going to be really, really powerful. So that I will also link his profile for the middle of funnel. I think you can definitely study him. And
so do you think for middle of funnel, I can do both like case studies of clients I've worked with, but also like brands in general, like how X brand achieved this amount of money?
So what's beautiful, man, is with top of funnel, we're testing these angles, and then the brand that works the better, the analysis that works the better, become a 25-minute full breakdown where you can actually showcase how you think about it, okay? So when you mean full YouTube breakdowns, showcase creative process and how much money they're generating, this is for me, for you to create more your process and showing that. But then we can also do, which is kind of that sweet spot between middle and top of funnel on YouTube, it would be actually full breakdowns of campaigns, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen this, like, I'm not even someone that looks for this, but still they pop up on YouTube for me. Like, I know these videos go viral. People really enjoy watching these videos. And what's super good about it, people will see how you think, right? Yeah. Which is super important, because here they see how you think, and here they see how you work, okay? And once we start onboarding clients with the new strategy, okay, with this new offer, that's where you're gonna film that onboarding that you were already talking about. We're gonna film that breakdown / onboarding of the strategy that you wanna implement for them, okay? So that's super, super important, man, because it's going to allow you to see people, to show people exactly how you work with your clients and how good you are at building these procedures and these plans. I mean, it's exactly what we're doing right now, right? Someone that might wanna invest in us can see exactly how we're coaching you right now, how we're building a plan A to Z for the content and the offer. And then they will want to work with us, right? So it's the same exact thing, right? Film the breakdown or whatever, how we want to call it, like the onboarding session.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And when it comes to this, we could quickly talked about it yesterday in the presentation. We told you how much is more powerful to do it in person. If you cannot do it in person, I at least use something like riverside.com. Okay. So at least you got. I mean, you're a creative guy. If then your testimonial look like shit.
.com, just
I think it is, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I checked before.
Okay. Then the name is just Riverside FM or something?
No, I mean, I record all of my calls, but I record them on Zoom, so the quality is usually
I know.
like pretty bad.
I mean, you can, for the most part, do Zoom, but at least you're that onboarding, just do Riverside, okay?
Yeah. Just for the onboarding, it's fine, you know.
Or like whenever I do like a coaching session or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, man. And what's gonna be super, super powerful for you, remember I showed you that guy the other day, Start a Story, in the board. Start a Story, that guy that creates
those testimonials.
Like from the perspective, you know, that was crazy, right? Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, because you're gonna focus so much on creatives, right, which is amazing, I'm sure we can build a lot of cool titles that can go viral. Because imagine like, I made either like 11 ROAS, or maybe we talk about money, okay? Running, you know, AI generated ads, or even like I would go more crazy with it. Like I would pick the craziest campaigns that you guys run, like the craziest creative, right? And maybe it was something brain rot, or maybe it was something like, I don't know, out of the ordinary. And in the title, you use how crazy the campaign was, like how much crazy the creative was, right? Because it's like right now I'm just saying like something that makes no sense, but it's like, imagine I had a 12x ROAS, whatever it might be, like creating animals that dance with AI, like some crazy stuff like that. Then I'm like, I'm gonna click that video, like what the heck does this guy mean when he says that, right? But you wanna make it about them and start with the I, just like this guy's doing. And in the video, it's gonna be you with the client interviewing him and breaking down the strategy that you guys use. But that way we have the potential of going viral also with bottom of funnel content, right?
No, honestly, it sucks that I didn't know about this earlier, because literally like 2 weeks ago I did this testimonial, like a Zoom type of thing with a client who we achieved just like banger results this year. Like he literally scaled from like 0 to 500,000 per month with his agency.
Shit, bro.
With my ad creatives.
What the fuck?
He was literally like, bro, I just want to do you a video testimonial. Like,
that's crazy, bro.
Please.
I mean, bro, you got these kind of results, man. We gotta leverage this testimonials.
Yeah,
like
if he's really happy with everything that you did all together, I would consider like trying to find an angle to film something else. You know, again, as more of like, you know, you can literally position it as that if you're going to do it as that, even like an interview.
Yeah, like a podcast where he literally talks about how he managed to scale his agency from 0 to like 500K in like 12 months.
Exactly, and then it's just going to come up during the podcast that you work on all of the creatives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
beautiful.
No, we could totally do a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's we already need to raise the price of the offer at this point if these are the testimonial and case studies that you have.
That's like, beautiful, brother. And also,
it's like a good 30-minute video. So
and also try reverse engineer like what is kind of like the funniest, the crazy angle that you might use for these titles. Because if you're focused on creative, I kind of want your title to be focused on creative. So imagine like I make 500K a month doing this thing, and it's like a crazy creative that you guys run. I don't know, for this guy in particular, there was something like that was weird about it.
Yeah, we did do some like weird stuff where the guy who was running the agency was like, for example, for a Christmas campaign, he would like literally dress up as an elf.
Yeah. And, bro, imagine, bro, now I'm just putting as a meme, but bro, I make 500K a month dressing as an elf. Yeah. Right? It's like, imagine just go like this crazy route. Bro, I would click this video. Yeah. Like, it's like, what the heck? Yeah. And then it's like, of course, what will be key at this point is you gotta connect the beginning to the title. Because if the video starts and it's like, so, you scale your agency from zero, like, tell me how it was, and there's nothing about an elf, I'm gonna click, right? But imagine like it starts
like,
with
it starts with the peak of the video in which you're like, showing, for example,
like,
the ad. So
like showing the video. Like imagine that you're telling them that, and like it starts sharing, it's like dressing as an elf, and it's like later in the video. Right?
Or literally, I'm not sure if you know like the Jack Neil podcast, so we could literally do
like a trailer kind of thing.
Yeah, like the guy, like an image of the guy or a video of the guy literally like dressed in and then like my voice, or like this guy makes 500K per month.
Bro, exactly. Like if we're able to crack bottom of funnel like this, it's over, man. Because imagine going viral with this. Like you're gonna go broad, but you're still gonna track your ICPs just because of how viral the video can go. But it's literally a client interview, man. Yeah. Like that's why it's so powerful. You know what I mean?
But I feel like for something like that to really be powerful, it needs to be in person. Like I'm not sure we can have like the same impact on like either side.
I mean, bro, I'm always gonna be such a big fan of you wanting to meet your clients in person because I mean, look what we were able to do in these 2 days. Like amazing connection. I'm sure you're gonna perceive us different after this event than before, right? We built a relationship outside of just, you know, being coaches or whatever that might be, right? But it's like this guy, just to prove you what's possible, 175 in a month with a client interview, it's online, right? So I'm such a big fan of you wanting to do this, but don't use it as an excuse to not do it, right? Either you fly it next week to him, or if you can, you do Riverside, right? And you can still plan, like this guy, ask him to also have a phone next to them so they have a different angle, like we're doing with a camera, for example. And in this way, you can still make it engaging. You can still make it engaging without having to necessarily be in person. But if you can, we're always gonna tell you to do that, okay?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
beautiful.
I'll try and track his location. Okay. If we'll ever meet up somewhere to record.
Great, man. So when it comes to top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel, the next steps are pretty clear. Okay. What I want you to do when it comes to content as the next steps is I want you to start coming up with the first ideas for these formats that we talked about, and I want them to share. I want you to share them with us, okay? Because we want to make sure that we're analyzing them and making sure that we got the right references. And telling you, man, I don't care if you need like 5 to 10 to 30 minutes to find them. There are guys going viral showing successful creatives and analyzing it. Like I've seen them before, okay? If I can find a couple, I'll send you, but I also want you to put in the work, right?
Yeah, of course.
So find good top of funnel references. Okay, that will be the first one, so we can start introducing your face, and as a consequence, connecting the personal brand to your actual face. I mean, it's a personal brand, right? That's top priority, man. I'm a fan of keep running this AI stuff. That's cool, but it should be honestly at this point like a 20-30% of your content, not more than that. Okay.
Yeah, and ideally in all of them there should be my face.
Yeah, exactly. Remember what we showed you before, so at least you in the bottom. Okay.
Yep.
Beautiful. And then start testing the new offer, man. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we want you to start tracking. We're gonna send you the tracker, all the data. So remember when we told you about this, we need to start tracking all of this. And also, if you want to start by doing it already, if not, we can help you find appointment setters, man. But just make sure that understand that until you don't make a lot of money, or at least like have a 20-30K month offer, is really hard at someone like an appointment setter. If it just share of what they would get, it's very hard they would come to you, right?
I'd say the way we can test it now is we have to kind of consider that I do have like thousands and thousands of leads on Fiverr, or a lot of them are qualified businesses.
That's very interesting.
A lot of them.
That's very interesting.
And again, like these are also a lot of them are like warm, like.
Yeah, if you can get in touch with them, that can definitely, like, I would try to get in touch with them and understand what their situation is, again, if they actually need help with creatives, you know, like start with the consultation approach, which we also talked about, right? That's also like how we actually do the appointment setting, is like we have a conversation with them, we understand if, like, what their situation is, if we can actually help them, and if we can, we try to already solve some key pain points there in the conversation, and then we try to schedule a call from there so that we can move forward and actually get to the sale and go with the program and actually solve the entire problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Beautiful. And then we need to also start working on middle funnel and bottom of funnel.
Yeah.
But man, you got that, like, film as soon as possible that testimonial. Like, so important.
Yeah, even just that testimonial alone, it's already like
it's such a great asset.
Got the recording, so why not just post that one? Because I already have it, and in the future maybe I can redo.
I don't like that maybe though. I don't like that maybe.
You don't like just posting like an interview?
No, what I mean is like, and maybe in the future refilm it, man. Like, so we want to make sure that we're optimizing this, man.
Refilm it.
Like, I want you to do it, man. Like, if this guy went from 0 to 500, like, bro, that's such a big case study. Like, why wouldn't we leverage it?
We were already shocked. Like, you were taking it such as a light thing. We were like, as soon as you mentioned it, we were like, bro, what the fuck? Why are we not? Why is that not all over your content?
Because like, I don't want to take all the credit, because obviously like the guy runs an agency.
Of course,
has his own systems, and I help him pretty much with the ad creatives.
I get that, man.
That's why actually even more as a podcast style interview, it would make even more sense than a testimonial almost, you know?
Bro, like, I'm such a big fan of that, also you saying that, because number one, it shows that you're real, right? And you would also keep it in real in a podcast side, but also, bro, if the guy almost asked you to film a testimonial from how you said it, like, bro, the guy thinks you were a big part of this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't act like that, right?
Super happy,
so I understand that it was not 100% you. He's never that, man.
Yeah.
So if the guy reached out to you, telling you, I want to film a testimonial with you, man, it's like the guy is super happy. So even if you did not do it for 100%, nobody that makes money 100% because of a person. It's always a team effort, right? But that means he's super happy with it. So we need to leverage him as a huge testimonial and drive traffic to that on your YouTube, right? So this would be the first thing that we want to work on together. It's super important, man. Like, I need you to track this data, and let's leverage the Fiverr. That's beautiful. Mostly also to test the offer and how people react with it, right? So you jump on sales call with these clients. I mean, you have a big collection of clients. We test this offer and we track exactly how they react to it.
Yeah,
like,
any objections,
what are the objections?
So potentially we can also pre-handle them in that content.
Yeah, because if we can get the first 2-3 clients from Fiverr, man, that's huge, because we can learn a lot from it, and then you can get them the crazy testimonial too from them, and that's gonna propel so much also how much you're gonna be able to sell it through IG and YouTube and everything, okay? But I mean, you're big on Fiverr, let's leverage it, right? Let's use every asset that we have to our advantage, okay? So, I mean, with an offer like this, man, like 9K, and of course we need to refine the last few things in the next weeks, in the next days, like for example, how we would place a talent, what would be the fee for that, right? But these are logistical things. Right now the priority is to start implementing all these things. But I mean, man, a 50K month is 6 people a month joining this offer.
Oh yeah.
Right. I'm not asking you to close one person a day.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to close literally one person a week.
Yeah.
Right. 1.5 a week. Right. Yeah. If we cracked this content, okay, and positions you as an actual like creative expert,
that
this
you already
is totally
are,
doable
based
because
on
you
the
are
results.
Yeah. I really like the shift that we're making, like that I'm actually like the ad creative expert, but we're still like utilizing the new marketing, like unhinged marketing and stuff in our ads, while not putting all of our focus on like actually
because that also allows you to pivot. If you're the creative guy, it means that you adapt based on what's working in the creative space. And so it's like, for example, right now maybe it's unhinged marketing. When it will not be anymore, you can always pivot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was actually thinking about this. I showed another girl the other day that she was doing that very good case study, and she's super smart with it. She's making a lot of money, but she's building like a storytelling agency, which to a certain degree, I think it's very powerful here, but something that would be a little harder, because right now storytelling is everything on Instagram, social media. The moment where something stops and it's like, now it's another thing, you struggle way more than if we position you as the creative guy. And of course, you have such a deep understanding that now you know that this Unhinged is going crazy. Of course, you're gonna use it, but nothing is stopping you from, like 3 months from now, start to talk about like storytelling ads. You know, because you're a creative expert, and by analyzing what's successful in this moment, which is top of funnel content, that's gonna dictate your strategy. Because you're gonna keep people updated on the latest strategy and what's working, and you're always gonna be on top of the game, right?
Yep.
Beautiful, brother. So let's fucking start selling this 9K offer. Let's do all this in place so we can start making money. And I don't see why we cannot make 30 to 50K at the end of the month. I mean, I fucked that up. I fucked that up.
We have about 6 hours.
About 6 hours.
Shit.
Let me get to work.
Shit. Yeah, bro, go upstairs. 30 to 50K a month at the end of the program. All right?
Yeah.
No, man.
Beautiful, man. Did you enjoy this?
Yeah, it was really fun, honestly. It's a ton of value, and I appreciate you guys.
Amazing.
Let's go, man.
All right, man.
Let's go, brother.
Let's
Thanks,
get
guys.
it.